A new Division One women's tennis poll has come out as a notice that computer rankings goes as follows. I apologize for looking down because I cannot memorize all this stuff. And there is a new number one, and that is Texas A&M, Georgia, Michigan, Duke, Oklahoma, Auburn, Virginia, North Carolina, Ohio State, Tennessee, LSU, NC State, Vanderbilt, Texas, Texas Tech, USC as the University of Southern California, Oklahoma State, Washington, UCLA, Cal as the University of California, Berkeley, Baylor, UCF as the University of Central Florida, South Carolina, Wisconsin, and Notre Dame are the 1 through 25. I'm going to go over like 26 through 40 as well to give some receiving vote teams. Stanford, FAU as in Florida Atlantic University, Pepperdine, Georgia Tech, Arizona, Ole Miss, Iowa, UCSB as the University of UC Santa Barbara, Alabama, Arizona State, Clemson, Rice, Furman, Kansas, Kentucky, and all this. And one thing to mention: if you don't have a winning record, you won't make the NCAA tournament unless you win the conference tournament. That is if you even have one, because I know the Ivy League doesn't, and I know some of these teams here have conference tournaments this week, while others have it next week. And you know there's a difference between being a top 16 seed and top 8. Top 16, you just get to host the first 2 rounds, while top 8, you get to host first 3 rounds, assuming you win the first 2 rounds. And the top 16 would be like Texas A&M, Georgia, Oklahoma, Michigan, Duke, Auburn, Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, Ohio State, NC State, LSU, Texas, Vanderbilt, Texas Tech, and USC. And the cut line would be at 42 teams right now. Right, exactly. Who's the last 4 in? Kentucky, Kansas, Rice, and San Diego. I'm not including conference leaders and all this. Now, the last 4 byes would be Wake Forest, Arizona, Alabama, and Clemson, technically. Now, the first 4 out. I'm not including Florida because they're 8-13. They have to win a conference tournament even to make the NCAAs. Even if they do win a few matches, they're still ineligible. So it's really TCU, Charlotte, Illinois, and Tulsa. Unless SMU were to go on a run in the ACC tournament, they're not getting in with an ineligible record. Well, the next 4 out would be if Northwestern does get to a winning record. Would be like Northwestern, Penn State, Cal Poly, Maryland, and Florida State. I'm not including Miami, Florida because they're 9-12. They have to practically win the ACC term, like a few matches in the ACC tournament, like 3 of them, and to get to 500. But even then, they have to win a conference tournament to make the NCAA tournament. And you got to avoid bad losses if you're one of those bubble teams. And I know, for instance, that TCU is playing this week and they cannot lose to Houston. And then they would have to find a way to beat the next opponent to make sure. And you got to avoid bad losses. You got to get some wins. Same thing goes for those host sites. Because I just know one thing. The Big 12 is only going to get one top 16 seed, whether it's like Texas Tech, UCF, Oklahoma State, and Baylor. And I'm only including Baylor in case, just because they are close enough. Because if they beat Texas Tech and then it'd be one of UCF and Oklahoma State, that might be enough for be a top 16, but even then it might be just a slight push, a slight stretch. But you get the whole point because the ACC has more points. I mean, the Big Ten also does have a little bit more points and all this too. So, you get the whole picture here. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens. And obviously, Texas A&M and Georgia should be the top two spots regardless for the NCAAs. Because look at the point difference. Because there's no way Oklahoma's going to catch up. Even if they do win the SEC tournament. That's not enough points to be had. I mean, it's not enough. Because it's like literally over 11 points. 11.7. I mean, close to 11.7, but you get the whole point. So really, Virginia and North Carolina, they need to make a little, to ensure themselves a little bit better. And same thing goes for Auburn. Duke should be a top 5, top 8 seed no matter what. They should be. So like Ohio State, I know they don't play this week, but they play next week. Will there be enough points for them to go be a top 8 seed? Who knows? They would have to win their conference tournament though. I mean, that's the thing. And NC State does have a shot only because the ACC has so many points. Same thing goes for LSU. I don't know about LSU being a top 8. They would have to win out and then get some help. So now I'm going to just go over my top 10 for Division I women's tennis. It goes as follows. It is similar in all this. Texas A&M, Georgia, Duke, Michigan, Oklahoma, Auburn, Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, and either one of Ohio State and LSU to me. But either way, one of those two is outside looking in, while the other outside looking in goes as far as like, in no particular, NC State, Texas, Vanderbilt, Texas Tech, USC, and Oklahoma State. But if you want to include, if you don't want to include Oklahoma State, you put Washington, that's fine. Tomato, tomato, it's about the same. So Oklahoma State practically needs to win their conference tournament just to make sure they're top 16. They have to. I mean, it's telling the truth. And same thing goes for Texas Tech, because if they don't, somebody else would steal their spot, potentially. And UCF has to win their conference tournament just to make it interesting to be a top 16 seed. Like I said, for Baylor, I'm not sure. Even if they win the whole conference tournament, I don't know if there's enough points to be made up to be a top 16. But they're going to make it. It could be close. We'll have to wait and see what happens. And obviously all these conference tournaments coming up this week is going to have impact for next week for all the other teams that have a conference tournament to be played in. So anyways, if you like this content, hit the like and subscribe button. See you guys later. On the road to 800 subscribers, of course, ultimate goal is 1,000 more. Some of my this course like video, comment video really helps YouTube background. Some more people see it. Sharing the video does help as well. Some more people can watch, and if you're watching and not subscribe, hit subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well.